Alan, Ali, Ray, how are we all doing?
Well, we're baffled, really. Listen, I just can't get round. I can't get it around my head that he's not suspended. Conor's not suspended. The British Border Control have not suspended him. So what is the big problem? I thought they were the governing body. So the fight's off, but he's not suspended. I don't get it, Spence.
Yeah, Alan, I'm with you, mate. I really don't understand it. If I'm totally honest, look, I like Conor Benn. I like him a lot, and I was so surprised when I heard that he failed a drugs test. A VADA drugs test, and the facts are the facts. He failed the test. He tested positive. So there should be a ban, and it's hard saying that because, like I say, Conor's a friend and I like him a lot. And I feel sorry for Chris Eubank Jr., the work that he's put in, the unrealistic weight that he was being told to make, that 157, which was 3 pounds under the weight that he normally boxes at. And trust me, he's tight at 160. To make 157, we fall into the danger zone. It's where people, it's where he's very dehydrated. And then on the flip side, you've got someone that's failed a drugs test, which for a fertility drug, which increases testosterone levels, which allows you to build muscle and endurance, etc. It's a worrying time, if I'm totally honest, there. And like you say, I'm surprised the British Boxing Board of Control have not taken any further action. I'm sure they will.
Spence, is that sorry? Spence, I don't like butting in, but just they haven't suspended him. Is that because the trace maybe was minute, or do we know how much was in his body, in his blood circulation?
No, I think what we're dealing with here, Alan, at the moment is UKAD, which is a different drug governing body. UKAD was the official drug tester for this fight, and VADA was a voluntary drug tester. Now, Conor had rejected to sign up to VADA last year. He refused to sign up to VADA last year, and they took him out of all the world rankings for that reason. This time, he's decided he would sign up to VADA, which is a random drug testing thing. He done that. The test was done back in August, the end of August, and they found traces of this fertility drug in his system, which increases testosterone levels by up to 600%. I'm being told, somewhere like that. So it really helps with muscle endurance, etc., etc. And that was, I would imagine, for him to build up to a weight and makes him equal to Chris Eubank Jr. So that's where we're at with it. So UKAD, the main tester for this, didn't test him until after that, and he's come back and he's always been negative. So right up into the build-up. But this one has only just been leaked. The VADA one has been leaked. The Daily Mail actually leaked it, that he had actually tested positive. And that's where the problem is. So I suppose the British Boxing Board of Control are investigating it as we speak, until we find out what sort of further action's taken. But as it stands, he's not been banned. But the British Boxing Board of Control are not happy to go through with the fight because he has failed this drugs test, which was taken, I believe, at the end of August sometime.
Spence, it's all about Conor Benn now. What when he comes out and does a statement or says what he was doing and what he was taking. If you was in his shoes, how would you deal with this situation?
Oh, mate, if I was in his shoes, Ray, I'd probably be hiding under a rock somewhere now, if I'm totally honest, because, we've got to look at this, right? Chris Eubank, when you have a fight, Chris Eubank Jr. was like his father. He plays the pantomime villain, if you like. And Conor Benn was like his dad, who was like the national hero and everybody loved him, etc., etc. Well, the reverses have now it's flipped totally, whereas Eubank Jr., everyone's feeling sorry for him. You're going, wow. They was making you get down to a weight of 157, which is potentially dangerous, and yet they were taking this fertility drug, etc., etc., etc. Wow, that is like, that is insane. So I think there's a lot of hate out there at the moment for Conor Benn, and a lot of love for Chris Eubank Jr. because of what's happened. But like I say, look, I can't help but feel sorry for Conor Benn because I like the kid, and he's the last person I would expect to take any performance-enhancing drugs. He really is. So. Yeah, this is a real shock to me, and it's a difficult interview because, like I say, I like the kid so much, but the facts are the facts, and we've got to make this sport as clean and as safe as possible. And what's happening here was, it's insane, really, when I think about it.
Spence, just let me rewind a little bit here. Maybe I misheard you. Are you saying this drug test that he has failed was 5 weeks ago?
Yes, I am.
How the hell do the public not get to know this when they're booking hotels and train journeys and flights?
Alan, I was going to ask you the same question because, listen, if someone's failed a test, why hasn't it been brought to light until before now, where someone actually leaked it to the Daily Mail? So I'm going, so would we never have heard about this?
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on here? How have we not heard about this? I know it's a voluntary test. Surely when they do those voluntary tests, you have to get these samples. I know they're waiting for a B sample now, but let me tell you, the A sample and the B sample are from the same urine, or the same blood. So all they do is they just put them in two different containers. So if A's positive, B's going to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand it. And why as well have we not had the B sample yet? Like, you know, like with the magnitude of this fight.
Stinks here, Spence. Yeah.
Huh?
Something stinks here.
It does, mate. And it hurts me to say that because, like I say, look, I'm talking about people that I'm, you know, like I've known for many years, and I've watched them develop as fighters and as people, and it's a shame. It's a real shame. It's like it's sort of broke me really, because I'm a real boxing man, and I love this sport, and I love it. You know how clean I want it to be, as clean as it is, or as clean as possible, should I say? Eubank Jr, who's the one that had to make the weight, and he's the one that, you know, has been stripping himself down and taking himself to an unrealistic, putting himself in that danger zone to make this fight happen, to get this fantasy fight. You know, look, after their dads had boxed some 30 years ago, this fight we never thought we was going to get, but now, you know, it felt like we was going to get it. And Eubank was playing the game, he was playing ball, and then Conor Benn's the one that's failed the test. It's absolutely, honestly, I'm still blown away by it as we speak.
Spencer, thank you, mate. Let's see what the next sort of 48 hours brings. Spencer Oliver there.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.